Now an interesting predicament came about. I told you when people escape from Mecca and make it to Medina, what has to happen to them? They have to be returned to Mecca. Some women showed up, escaping from Mecca. What do we do with these women? Meccans showed up, you have to return these women. Said, we're believers, we're Muslims. Now you know, God knows what kind of crimes they're going to do with these women. The messenger says, no, the agreement we made was about men, not about women. These women will not be returned. And they couldn't say anything. They backed off. So the women stayed, but there was a new problem. We don't know which of these, because these are Muslims, closet Muslims, right? So even Muslims didn't know if they were really Muslims. So we don't know if some of them are spies. We don't know if some of them have been sent to start a scandal, to demoralize the Muslims from the inside. We don't know. We don't know the reality of these women. So we have to have some sort of interrogation. You know how you have a border control? Why are you, what's the purpose of your visit? Why are you here? Let me see your passport. Let me check your paperwork, etc., etc. You know, because you want to make sure that the person entering your country isn't entering for treacherous reasons. You don't want to let a criminal into your country, a terrorist into your country, a saboteur into your country. So we're in a state of war, and you're coming from a city that we're at war with. So obviously there needs to be some interrogation, some border control type policies. This was the ayah about the border control policy. It's really cool that our religion deals with things that even today we see all around us. It doesn't just deal with spiritual matters, it deals with like matters of real life, political issues, immigration issues, citizenship issues, social issues, you know, administrative issues. I mean, spreading out in a meeting, for God's sake. Who would think God would reveal something about how to hold a meeting properly? You know? And now border control, and these women have come, they're Muslim, of course. What's the citizenship in Islam? What's your passport? La ilaha illallah. And you don't have to have a paper, you just have to what? Say it. So let's hear it from these people, and they might be spies, so let's ask them a few more questions. When did you become Muslim? How did you hear about Islam? What's your favorite surah? What do you remember? And if they start saying, what's a surah? Yeah, I love praying to the moon. Oh, you do? Please step aside. There's a special room for you. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, those of you who believe, idha ja'akumul mu'minatu muhajiratin, if believing women come to you having migrated, and by the way, muslimat isn't even used, mu'minat is used. If they really have iman, because Allah knows if they have iman or not, but you don't. So you have to have a policy of caution. فَامْتَحِنُوهُنَّ, then test them. Interrogate them, test them, examine them, ask them a little bit of tough questions. You know, soft interrogation. You don't have to slap them around, because they might actually be mu'min. But you have to just at least conduct a thorough questioning. Because we are in a state of war and there is a possibility of spies. فَامْتَحِنُوهُنَّ. Al-amru minhu imtahin. Imtahin, as imtahinu, plural. Test them. Allahu a'lamu bi imanihinna. Allah knows better about their iman. In other words, you don't know about their iman, that's Allah. Allah knows their iman. But your policy needs to be to take caution, you know, ask questions. فَإِنْ عَلِمْتُمُوهُنَّ مُؤْمِنَاتٍ. If you get to know that they in fact are believing women, فَلَا تَرْجِعُوهُنَّ, then don't return them. Don't send them back. Don't let them go back. Then, إِلَى الْكُفَّارِ, to the disbelievers, لَا هُنَّ حِلٌّ لَهُمْ, they're not halal for them anymore. Even if these Muslim women came who have a kafir husband in Mecca, this is an automatic divorce. They're not halal for them anymore. وَلَا هُمْ يَحِلُّونَ لَهُنَّ, and they're not, even if she loves her kafir husband, he's no longer halal for her. Those ties have been severed. You see, this is a continuation of the subject matter of the previous surah. In the previous surah, bonds were cut for the sake of Allah and His Messenger. So they're not halal for them and they're not halal for them. It's both ways, no more. وَآتُوهُمْ مَا أَنفَقُوا, and give them whatever they had spent. In other words, their husbands, back in Makkah, their kafir husband, their disbelieving husband may spend some money on her, may have given her a dowry, a gift or whatever, refund it to them. Look at the incredible justice of Islam. Quran says, the enemy that's ready to kill you, that you have to return your own escapees to, because their women have left them and come here, you should find out from those women what did they receive as marriage gifts, and you should send it back to them, refund them. You know, FedEx them back their money. Your wife is no longer yours. Here's your ring back. Done. Don't just, forget it. Let me keep the ring. Spoils of war. Hey. No. You give it back. وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ أَن تَنْكِحُوهُنَّ. And then when that's done, there's no harm on you that you can marry them too. So they can marry among the community. وَإِذَا آتَيْتُمُهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ. And by the way, إِذَا آتَيْتُمُهُنَّ أُجُورَهُنَّ. You can marry them once you've given them their dowry. In other words, marry them in a decent way. They've come here. They don't have a wali. They don't have some guardian. So you could just say, hey, I'll marry you. And she's desperate. She doesn't have a home. She doesn't have family. Right? So she'll just marry anybody. And she won't ask much for a dowry because she's not in a position to ask. She's in a desperate situation. Allah says, no, give them a good dowry. Ujurahunna. وَلَا تُمْسِكُوا بِعِصَمِ الْكَوَافِرِ. And don't hold on to the old bonds, the protective bonds of disbelieving women. In other words, if you have old marriages, Muslim Sahaba have marriages from back in the day with disbelieving women, kafir women back in Makkah, let them go. Just move on. They didn't accept Islam, just let it go. And what should you do? وَاسْأَلُوا مَا أَنفَقْتُمْ. And, let those women know, look, we're not married anymore, so if the gifts I gave you, please refund them. But now, do you think the kafir woman will refund the gift? No, she's not going to refund the gift. Allah says you have the right to ask though, at least. You could try. وَاسْأَلُوا مَا أَنفَقْتُمْ وَلْيَسْأَلُوا مَا أَنفَقُوا. And they should ask whatever they've spent. They should ask whatever they've spent. ذَلِكُمْ حُكْمُ اللَّهِ. That is the verdict of Allah. يَحْكُمُ بَيْنَكُمْ. That He's passing among you. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. And Allah is all-knowing, wise.